Hello. Can you guys hear me okay? So Consecrated Virginity, I know that most people probably have never heard of it. Most people in the church have never heard of it. So I'm going to give you like a quick rundown on what Consecrated Virginity is, and then a really quick rundown on how I got here. And then if you want to know more details, I'm around. But Consecrated Virginity is one of the oldest vocations in the church. It predates religious life, and it came from women who had heard about this elusive Jesus who wanted to give their lives to him and didn't have a forum to do it. So they really just lived this kind of radical life because back in the day, you know, your only option was to get married and be dependent on your husband. So these women wanted to give their lives to Jesus, to the faith, and a lot of them died for it. It kind of died out a little bit when religious life kind of emerged, and it's kind of making a comeback, I think. I'm not sure, but I'm hopeful. So the biggest thing about consecrated virginity is that it's a consecrated life in the lay state. So I am in the same state of life canonically and in the church as married, single people, and, you know, all the other lay people. I think that's it. So our mission is we are connected to diocese always. I'm not a part of an order, but I'm connected to a diocese and to a bishop. And my mission is to pray and intercede for the bishop, the priest, the local church, to be a witness of Christ in the world in my work, but otherwise to just look like everybody else. This is obviously I look like, you know, normal. There's nothing visibly like our beautiful sisters here that kind of sets me apart from everyone else. But I live a virginal life. I will never get married. I take, during my consecration, I committed to praying the Liturgy of the Hours. I committed to being a virginal spouse of Christ for the rest of my life. I wear a wedding ring because I am a taken woman by the one King of our lives. And but other than that, I work in the world. I am a pediatric oncology nurse, which means I take care of kids with cancer and blood disorders, and I've also been a pediatric hospice nurse for the last 10 years. And so for all intents and purposes, I look like everybody else. I'm incognito, evangelizing the world. As John Paul II says, I'm paraphrasing, obviously. So really quick, the way that I got here was a very shocking Good Friday when I was 26 years old, I think. I don't even know, around there. I was actually watching The Passion, the movie, with a group of high schoolers because had been volunteering with at a youth group, and we were watching The Passion, which I had seen before, obviously, and I knew what happened. I knew how it ended. And so I'm sitting there watching it with these girls, and it's the part of that, like, the drums are beating and the wind is going and Jesus is being lifted up, and it's like really intense, you know, and I was looking at Mary Magdalene. And this question that had never popped into my head, which was, Jesus, you healed so many people. You cast out demons, that you made people walk, you raised Lazarus from the dead, and why does she get to be here at this pivotal moment of your life, of our faith? This is the moment that matters the most. Why was she here? And he said, because she left everything and followed me. And I said, I want to be there. And he said, then leave everything and follow me. And I said, yeah, right. So basically, fast forward, I finally gave him a chance. I started discerning this. And what I discovered was that I didn't feel called to leave the world because I was having these conversations with all these nurses. And the way that I described myself was like, they looked at me like I was a circus animal. Like, who are you? You're dating, but you're not sleeping with anyone. You're switching off Sunday shifts so that you can go to Mass, but you still come out and drink beer and gin and tonics with us when we've had a long day, you know? And I'm like, yeah, I'm a normal person who actually has a relationship with someone who's bigger and more important than all of these things. And I kept thinking, if I become a religious, there won't be anyone at Children's Hospital to have these conversations. So I went to this priest and basically said, I'm vocationless, and the Lord hates me, and I'm despairing because I'm Italian and I love being melodramatic. And his response to me was, I think that you might be called to be consecrated in the lay state. And that led to just years, honestly, of discernment and study of understanding these different ways that the church gives us to live consecrated life, which you have all these examples up here, and eventually led me to consecrated virginity. And so I was consecrated 4 years ago on July 22nd, 2017, on the feast of Our Lady of St. Mary Magdalene, who has been with me through this whole thing and who called me. And just so happened to have a feast day on a Saturday in 2017. Thanks, Jesus. That was convenient. And so I love it. It's the most beautiful thing that I never thought I would ever be called to. I didn't think I'd ever be satisfied. I didn't think he would ever fulfill my desires as an Italian, extroverted, physical touch kind of girl. And I have never been more in love with anyone as I am with Jesus. I'm in love with a person. I'm in a relationship with a person, which is something I really had to understand. And he really has fulfilled all the desires of my heart through this vocation. So thank you.